Hello and welcome. I'm going to introduce you to the Empowering Writer's new digital guides. What we've done here is we've created digital replicas of each of our main teacher manuals: the expository and opinion and response to text writing guides, the comprehensive narrative guide, the argument writing guide, and the Getting Ready to Write, our K1 teacher manual. So imagine this. You have the guide in front of you, the print copy. What we did is we took that print copy and we put all the contents into a digital platform. And what that allowed us to do was, within the context of each lesson, we were able to embed digital assets that support that lesson. So let's take a look at the guides. Each one of these columns represents a tab that you would find in the print resource. So basically, it's the table of contents. And if you look over each one of these columns, you'll see that they match what the tabs are. So let's click on Lesson 1. And before we begin, let me just tell you what's the same. So when you click on a lesson, all of the content that you see here is just as it always has been in the print guide. What's different and what's better is we've been able to enhance the resource by putting in the digital assets that best support the lesson. So for example, in this particular lesson, you'll see that we have all the student pages there, but we also have a teacher background video for teachers to look at before they start to teach the lesson. So let's look at the teacher background here. And when you click on it, what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of information that you need in order to inform your instruction. So let's take a listen at what that might sound like.
That's really important as we begin to address expository writing, opinion writing, and response to text, is compare all three of those in terms of purpose, in terms of the salient features of those texts, such as interest.
After teachers have listened to that, then they can jump right into the lesson, again having been renewed and refreshed by the background knowledge that was just presented. And see here, you can click on the student pages just like you always have. You can either project it or download it, depending upon the format of the lesson that you're going to be conducting. Then let's take a look at another lesson. Here's Lesson 4 under the same heading of genre. And you'll see that here we have our familiar text that we provide students with. What we've been able to do is enhance that experience for students by creating what we call a virtual field trip. And the way the virtual field trips are designed is that the field trips introduce students to the topic and the language they're going to be experiencing within the context of the text. So let's just take a look at that for a moment. And you can imagine, as you're looking at this video, how this is going to help students be better prepared as readers to tackle the text. Relatives of bears are dogs, raccoons, pandas. Different kinds of bears and where they live. Bears live all around the world: Alaska, United States and Canada. Then, if we go back into the guide again, let's take a look at just yet another lesson so you can see what kind of assets are available. In Lesson 6, we have Analyzing and Annotating Expository and Opinion Writing. What's interesting about this particular skill is it's one of the key foundational skills that teachers and students need to understand. So you'll see there's a lot of background assets available. So for example, in this particular lesson, you're going to see that we have teacher background on analyzing and annotating. We also have an annotation example that's different from the first background that they're given. And then finally, we're able to take them right into a classroom by looking at a lesson in play. So they get to see a classroom modeled lesson, so they can see what that lesson might look like with students. Let's take a peek.
That you're looking for in that introduction that you want to make sure you include. Does anybody in here know what those two things might be? What do you want to put in an introduction? What do you think?
Kind of like what your expository piece is going to be about.
You bet. You need a topic sentence that will tell us what that expository piece is going to be about. That's one of the things that's important to have in your introduction. What else might be important in your introduction? What do you think?
Like a good start, a start off
a good start. I like the way you said it, a good start off.
Now there's one other tool that I want to share with you that really helps with the implementation and fidelity of the lesson. If we take a look at Lesson 7, this is where students are learning comparing and contrasting in response to multiple text. There's a lot of information that we want to give students to begin the lesson. So what we've created is what we call a skill power PowerPoint. And what this PowerPoint does is it aids the teacher in the instruction of the lesson. So oftentimes what we say at Empowering Writers is it's very important that the teachers present all the content the students need so that there's consistency in language across and between grade levels. And in order to help with the consistency in instruction, we've created these PowerPoints that allows the teachers to deliver the information in a way that they cover everything that we suggest. We're not suggesting here that teachers just read these PowerPoints. In fact, they're just using them to enhance their instruction. They should have already examined the background information that's provided with the lesson, become familiar with the skill, and then merely use this particular skill PowerPoint to enhance the instruction. So the takeaway in using the digital resources is this: all the same great content that's available in the print materials, enhanced by what we were able to add in the digital assets.